everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, we are talking about how it takes a village. And specifically, I'm referring to a community, and your community, in fact, maybe it's the one you have right now. Do you know where your community is right now? I don't know if you remember those old television commercials. Do you know where your child is right now, right? Do you know where your community is right now? Do you know what they're doing? If not, that could be a problem for your brand, because the funny thing is a lot of people think it's about customers, and having customers is a good thing. I will never say it's not a good thing. If you have 10,000 people purchase your thing, you sell it for $10, you just made $100,000, right? Like that's a good thing. However, it is widely accepted and widely believed across many different channels and in the digital marketing space at the very least, that if you can get yourself a core group of loyal fans and purchasers and customers, that's all you need for the rest of your life. So if you have like 1,000 people who will buy anything that you put out, well, guess what? You can sell something for $1,000, and if every single one of those 1,000 people buys that $1,000 thing, you just made $1 million. Okay, well, if you do it again 6 months later, well, I guess you just made another $1 million. And so it works out in this way that all you got to do is have people who are going to buy from you. Like, so simple, right? Just go get people who are going to buy from you. I mean, that's all it takes. Okay, so yeah, I know it's not as simple as it sounds. So where do you even start? I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy. Like, where do you start getting people to be those 1,000 super fans that are going to buy anything and everything you put out? Well, it starts with your community. Okay. And, maybe you don't have a community yet. Maybe you are just a fledgling entrepreneur in some way, a gamerpreneur out there who's like, I want to start something. I'm not sure what to do. And you're sending the Gamerpreneur page a message going, how do I become a gamerpreneur? And you're going to get a very generic response from me, like, well, what do you want to do? Okay. So what do you want to do? Like, are you a gamer? Are you a streamer? Okay, well, go play games. Are you a content creator? Go make content. If you're a business owner, well, do the thing that your business is centered around esports, but then do esports, right? You do your thing. You have to be good at your thing. Well, you don't have to be good. You have to be doing it at the very least. Okay. So many people get this next thing wrong. They think that if all they got to do is do the thing that they decided to do, and they got to do it really well. But doing it really well is not the important thing. Marketing is the important thing. Marketing is the thing that's going to get your brand and your content and your products and services in front of people who are likely to purchase that thing, right? Okay, well, what happens when they buy? Oh, wait, you got an answer? No? Oh, okay, so what do you do, right? So it's not enough just to sell people stuff. So if you're a streamer, right? Oh, hey, I got some merch. Who wants my t-shirts? And they buy your t-shirt, and then what? Like, you want them to wear your t-shirt. You want them taking pictures of your t-shirt. You want them telling everybody in the whole world how awesome this t-shirt is, how awesome the brand is, how awesome you as a content creator is. Same with your business, right? Say you sell marbles, right? Maybe manufacture marbles, little glass balls, right? Okay, so you manufacture your marbles. You want people to, buy your marbles. So you market it. But then it's not enough to sell those marbles. You need people talking about it, okay? And that is where a community comes in, because you can create your own community. You can create your own little echo chamber where people are sitting around talking about you and your content and your products and your brands and your services. And if you can get them engaging and reinforcing amongst themselves that they want to be, part of this brand, gotcha. Like those are the people. Keep an eye on those people. They may not have the money today, but maybe in the future they do. The point is, community is more important than content. Okay, if you've got a good enough community, and just as an example, let's say you're a streamer, okay, on Twitch, not Facebook, let's say Twitch, and you've got a contract that says you need to work so many hours every single day for the rest of your life to play, streaming in order to continue to having your partnership or your contracts or whatever. And there's people who really have that, and that sucks for them, right? Like, I know a couple streamers through like some of the top streamers. I haven't actually talked to them myself. They're too small still with 160,000 followers, too small. Anyway, I've talked to some streamers and, or people who know these streamers, and like they have to work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day. 10 to 12 hours a day streaming every single day, and they get maybe a day off a month. How horrible is that? Like, I love video games, and I'm sure you love video games, but how horrible does that sound to have to like chain yourself to your computer desk to play a video game every single day of the month, except for like 1 or 2 where you get a day off? Like, okay, so if that person wanted to walk away and they had no community set up, other than just showing up on stream, and they walked away, they lose their livelihood. They have nothing. There's plenty of people over on Twitch trying to tell you all, you got to diversify your income streams, right? Don't make Twitch, don't make YouTube, don't make Facebook your only method of income. Same with any business. Do not have just one product. If you have just one product, eventually it'll collapse. Because even think like Henry Ford with the car, right? The Model T car. And that was all they pumped out for years and years. Well, eventually other car manufacturers started coming around, and all Ford had was the Model T, but everybody's seen that one already. There's new cars coming out now. So Ford comes out with the Model A, and then they start coming out with other, versions of the motor vehicle. And so they realized they needed another product. That's the point I was trying to make. Everybody needs another product to survive. You can't have just one thing. You can't have just one stream of income, because for all you know, that stream of income may just completely blow up. All right. If you're on TikTok and your entire life was on TikTok, all your money was made on TikTok. Well, do you remember like during the Trump administration, he was like threatening to shut down TikTok, and TikTok was like looking to sell, and like nobody knew if TikTok was going to exist. It could have not existed. Like, it really could have just ended. He could have outlawed it somehow. I don't know how, but like he would have found a way, right? Because he was vindictive and wanted it gone. So if that was your sole source of income, well, okay. How do you like smooth over this gap, okay, of, trying to go from income source to income source to income source? Like, what is the secret sauce that instead of like having this dips and valleys where it's up and down, wild ride, what do? Community. You need to build your community, because these people are here for you and your brand, okay? It's not necessarily about the games that you're playing. If you're doing this right, if you set up your community properly, it's about you, and they like you. They like listening to your stories. They like hearing your jokes. They want to hang out with you, okay? And you find a way to nurture those people, whether it's a Discord community, a Facebook group, Twitter, and Twitter's not so good. That's not really a community, because what you want, you want a place that people can go and they sit around and talk to each other when you're not there. That's the kind of community we're talking about. Now, hopefully they're not like figuring out how to mutiny against you. They're talking about you, or whatever topics are relevant to you and your brand and your lifestyle and what's going on. If you can get that, that is going to be an endless supply of viewers and customers for life. Okay, that little lockbox where you're putting all these people in, that's where the real money is. And all digital marketers understand that there's an expression that the fortune is in the follow-up. It's never the initial sale that makes you rich. It's all the stuff you do after it. And if you don't have a community, if you don't have a way of communicating with these people and engaging them and having them engage each other and like really getting involved in your brand, they're going to forget about you, because that's how the world is. Nowadays, you got to run to keep up, right? So have a community, have something. It really does take a village, so to speak, to keep your brand afloat. That expression, I don't remember who originally said it. I know Hillary Clinton said it, years ago, talking about how to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a lot of people to raise a child properly. It's not just the parents, it's the community, it's the school teachers, it's the people on the street you meet randomly. Because I have a daughter, I know what it's like. I want her to meet other people. I want her to get exposure to more than I'm able to provide for her. And same with your brand. Okay. It's not enough for you to be up there tap dancing. It's not enough for you to be selling stuff. You have to have other people engaging and talking about it and helping nurture it and giving suggestions and criticism. Too many people are so worried about criticism. Criticism, there's 2 types. We'll say 3 types. Okay. 3 types. There is legitimate constructive criticism. The only person that helps is you. So why would you be upset about that? They're not doing it for their benefit. They're doing it for yours. Might as well accept it and go, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate your criticism. Oh, no, I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I don't think you were trying to hurt my feelings. Whatever. Okay. The second time comes from haters. All right. Those people really just want to see you fail. So they're going to say whatever they possibly can to hurt your feelings. Keep an eye out for that constructive criticism, because every now and then the haters really do have a point. Maybe they have a point and you're just ignoring it because it's a hater. Don't do that. Like, if your haters are on your side in a way, okay? They want to see you fail, but they're on your side by telling you exactly what to fix. Easy, right? And then the third type is actually the most insidious of the type of criticism out there. And that comes from the naysayers. Those are the people who tell you that they support you. Oh, no, it's okay. You go ahead and do you. And behind your back, they're like, that person's never going to succeed. I don't know why they keep trying. They failure after failure after failure. Those people are your friends and your family, and they don't actually want you to succeed, even though they tell you they do. They'll be happy for you when you do, but they just don't see it happening. The criticism that they give you is not really constructive criticism because they're not even paying attention to you for the most part. Some people will, some people do, but most part, your family, your friends, they don't care about what you're doing. They just know that it affects them and they don't like it in some way. So they'll tell you what they feel and they'll couch it in terms of constructive criticism. So understand that what you're looking for in your community is that constructive criticism. You don't want haters in your community. That's going to drag everybody down. You don't want naysayers in your community. That'll drag everybody down. You want people who enjoy your content, your brand, your products, your services, and are willing to talk about it. If you nurture those relationships, if you get involved with them, as you get your hands dirty in there and you talk to them, they get to know you. They think that they're now part of your life and you're part of their life, and they start talking to their friends and family about you. That is the best thing that could possibly happen to you, because one, that person, depending on to the extent that they've already purchased from you, is likely to purchase from you in the future. But also, they're the biggest evangelists for your brand. They're going to go out and tell everybody they can about you and what you're doing. So understand, you have to keep an eye not just on what you're doing right now in terms of content or products, business, whatever. You got to understand that there's a community behind it, especially today. Like, we live in the internet age. 20 years ago, wouldn't have mattered. Nobody was on the internet 20 years ago. And if you wanted a community, you had a little league team, right? Or you had your football teams and your basketball teams and your American football teams, and you had all that, right? But beyond that, there wasn't much community anywhere. There's community centers, religious groups, but as we got more and more distance, then thanks to the internet, thanks to cell phones, what was the next step? And it's community groups. That's what we're talking about now. Discord, Facebook. If you can figure this out, you can crack this nut, it'll be the thing that changes the future of your business. It may not change anything right now, because in the interim, the day-to-day, right? Nothing really seems to change. No one's really talking. Just be persistent. Just get through it. Nobody's talking in my Discord, and I got 84, 85, 80 some people in it. Last week I had like 50 people in it. The week before that I had 10. So it's growing. All right. But no one's talking still. I mean, actually, people had like a massive conversation yesterday, and I wasn't even a part of it. I'm like, shoot, I should have been there. That's what it takes. We got to be in there. So that's what I got for you all day. I'm going to remind you all, organization is the enemy of sloth. Take your time. Figure out what kind of community you want. Don't just go open your doors, go, hey, everybody, come on in, join me, and then not like the people that show up. Because there's nothing worse than having a community that you despise. Choose the people you want in your community, then go look for them, create content specifically geared toward them to pull them in. And if you build it, they will come eventually if you market. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. Don't be just a gamer. Be a gamerpreneur.